Hey guys, Joe here with the Portland Seattle Coffee Gear, talking to you today about brewing methods and the flavors you get. This is all very generalized, broad sweeping terms. Please bear in mind that coffee is different, every bean is different, so all of this is true and not at the same time. We have siphon pots, which are really cool old school methods of brewing. Siphon pots give you a heavily bodied extraction, so you get a lot of that center flavor profile, more earthy flavors in general. Mostly if it has body, you're going to notice more of the heavier flavors, those really light fruity agents that you get with coarsely or with filtered coffee tends not to be there with heavily bodied extractions. Some instances are different, but we'll get to there in a second. Siphon coffee, it's tanniny in a pleasant way for me, if that makes sense, kind of like a good red wine. A lot of depth of flavor and very unique. If you've never had siphon coffee, I really suggest trying it. It's a very fun experience to watch, and even more so to drink. You have the e-brick, which is the Turkish coffee pot. This is the precursor to pretty much every form of coffee we drink. There are more traditional ways to make Turkish coffee than there are people. Every family, every house, every country has its own various methods. But what you do is you basically bring water to boil, dump your coffee in there. I put a little sugar and cardamom in mine, and then you introduce it to heat a few more times, let your grounds settle, pour, and enjoy. Really hard to get the same extraction twice, but it's sort of brilliant and a lot of fun. This is a very social aspect of coffee drinking, which is essentially how it was invented and why it came about. Another very heavily bodied extraction, and if you put your sugar in at the front of the brewing method before you bring your water to boil, you get a lot of caramely flavor in there, and you can kind of have like a caramel Turkish coffee latte. A lot of fun. French press, metal filter, heavy body, a lot of that classic coffee flavor. You lose nuance due to the immersion brewing and oftentimes the length of time people wait before they press and drink. I'm a fan of saying there is a right way to drink French press and a wrong way, but I won't bore you with that right now. And if you enjoy it, then it's the right way. Heavily bodied, a lot of room to play around as well, and oftentimes the most simplest way to make coffee in large batches. Classic espresso, this will be the heaviest body out of any of these brewing methods, the most condensed, richest flavor out there. You can get really bright, brilliant coffee, you can get really dark, sultry, unctuous coffees, all from pressure, grind size, and the complex science of saturation and solubility points. The Moka pot came around in 1933. The little dude on it is a character of Mr. Bialetti's son. I think his name is Roberto. Precursor to espresso. You're looking at a 2 to 3 bar extraction. It's hard to control the variables with it, but you get a very rich, earthy flavor to it. A lot of that chocolatey, coffee-centric body. If you do it right, if you do it wrong, it's sour and not too pleasant. And then you have, last but not least, the cone filters. Those change in flavor depending on what filter you're putting in there, brew methods, water ratios, but generally you get a lighter, more delicate flavor. You get a lot more nuance in something like cone filter than you can in the other brewing methods, with some exceptions like cupping. But that paper filter changes your extraction. It catches more of the body, so you get a lot less body with paper, but more delicacy. That's just a really basic, broad breakdown of what these brewing methods can do for you.